South Africa has reached 1.5 trillion rand in pledges, overshooting the initial target of 1.2 trillion. Now, this is according to President Cyril Ramaphosa, who opened the 5th South Africa Investment Conference in Johannesburg yesterday. This year's event is the final leg of government's 5-year investment drive. Let's take a listen.
This year's conference is an opportunity to reflect on the progress that we have made to achieve that goal. Given the state of the economy in 2018, and given that we were emerging from a decade of state capture, many thought it was an unattainable target. We moved with speed, appointing the first of our special envoys. A number of them are here with us today, and we'll talk about them later, to engage with domestic and foreign investors on investment opportunities in South Africa. In the same year, the first ever South African Investment Conference took place. Despite economic headwinds, low business confidence, and dampened investor sentiment, the first conference generated investment pledges to a value approximating 300 billion rand.
Well, let's discuss the 2023 investment conference now, and we're joined by the CEO of the Steel and Engineering Industries Federation of Southern Africa, SIFSA for short, Mr. Lucio Trentini. Mr. Trentini, thank you very much for your time. We'll talk about the issues that beset your industry in a moment, but when you hear the President saying that we have surpassed the target of 1.2 that was set 5 years ago, and we're actually standing at 1.5 trillion now in pledges, and I place emphasis on the word pledges. What do you think? Is this an achievement for the country or something else?
Well, first of all, we'd like to congratulate the President and his investment team. I think to have achieved and overachieved on the numbers that were promised 5 years ago is no mean feat. We're all aware of the challenges that our economy and our country is facing currently, particularly on the business front. And, to have achieved 1.51 trillion rand worth of pledges, even if it is pledges, is a fantastic achievement. Yeah. And, we look forward to the next 5 years. I see that the President, in his closing remarks last night, made mention of the fact that the target for the next 5 years is 2 trillion. So the bottom line is that, look, we know the challenges that we're faced with. We know that it's not going to be easy to drag ourselves out of the current morass that we find ourselves in. But at the end of the day, business has an important role to play. Well, government can't do it on its own, and business can't do it without the support of government, and we need each other. Just to give you an idea, I talk on behalf of the steel industry, commonly referred to as the metals and engineering industry. This is a huge sector of the economy. We employ in excess of 300,000 employees, and there's plus minus 10,000 companies operated in our sector. Our contribution in terms of turnover is in excess of 900 billion rand a year. So this industry can play a role, has undertaken to play a role, and we agree that there are certain challenges that the President highlighted yesterday that we have to attack energy, logistics, crime and corruption. Yeah. And until we begin making meaningful progress on an urgent basis against these 3 key challenges, we're going to hold ourselves back as a country, and no one can afford it. Not at least the employees that come to work every single morning and put in an honest day's work for an honest day's wages, and employers who put their hearts and souls in driving their businesses, both small, medium, and large companies. So we are excited. We are on board, and we understand that in order to create jobs, we have to drive growth, and to achieve growth, we need to relook, reinvent, and rejig the business operating environment. And that's where government can play a massive role, with the support of business, obviously.
Thank you very much for your patience with us. Well, let's discuss the most pressing issue for the country. And this, I suppose, is exactly why you are saying that in this financial year of 2023, you are going to see a contraction in your industry of 2.2%. The energy insufficiency in South Africa, is that one of the major contributing factors to that contraction?
Yeah, look, energy is probably the biggest hindrance in terms of moving the needle forward on economic growth in our sector, and I'm sure in all other sectors of the country. And I must once again, give a big thumbs up to the President. He spent a lot of time yesterday, particularly in his opening address, highlighting energy as the number one, the foremost priority in terms of what needs to be addressed. And he spelled out quite a few action plans that are currently underway and that will soon, gain momentum and acceleration. There is, as we all know, the Energy Action Plan, which the President has spoken about in his various addresses to the nation. And we need to get on board and play our part. We have to improve the performance and availability of the key power stations. We have to expand and strengthen generation and grid infrastructure and unlock municipal wheeling and trading of electricity agreements. All these issues were highlighted yesterday and are on the table for discussion. Energy, logistics, crime and corruption, just as a tie-in to your previous insert, are all key challenges that we need to, as partners. And a lot was said yesterday around the issue of partnership and collaboration in order to address these issues. These are huge issues. These are issues that the country has been bedeviled with for the last couple of years. And having said that, we need to play a part. And business has a huge part to play because we have the most to lose. Because if companies shut down, and we have seen many companies shut down over the last 2 years, employees lose their jobs, they become unemployed, they become unemployable. That adds to the challenges the fiscus is faced with. And then that leads to a whole host of other realities that we can least do without in this country. So we as business, representing a key sector of this economy, which is a supplier and customer to the major sectors that make up our overall economy, mining, construction, automotive, component manufacturing, and so on. We're ready to play our part. We are, in fact, taking the President's word in terms of wanting to work with business. We have a meeting with the President next week, Tuesday, and our intention is to sit down and work out a plan of action in terms of what role business can play. And ready to take the President's challenge to heart, to get off the rooftops and into the ring and play a part. Interestingly, this is the first engagement between our sector and a sitting President. We're not going to waste it. We are going to do as much as we can with the time that we have with him. And then we're going to agree on a series of action plans with these different ministers and their teams. We have to move. We can't sit on our hands. There's no time to sit still.
Lucio, Trentini, let me thank you very much for your time and hoping that we'll catch up with you again after that meeting with the President, quite a crucial one.